got Nicholas, Daniel, Richards.
It's too much. I'm sorry.
It's quite
From
a lot.
Packiyo.
From Packiyo, which is a WMS, correct?
WMS, yeah.
Yes.
E-commerce WMS.
E-commerce WMS, and we have.
You could say that, yes.
Next gen WMS.
As in, it's easy to use and actually makes sense. Yes.
Yes. All right. Next gen, and then we have Phillip Akhzar here from Arka.
Great pronunciation. Yep, from Arka.
Yes. Well, he was on the podcast before, so I had some practice. So we have actually, they are the last guest of the live stream here and the last day because they have won the new Warehouse Award for Best Booths here at the show. You guys were here. They had a lot of free candy. No, I don't have one loaded up here, unfortunately. I knew you were coming, so I should have loaded one up. But, so, I mean, it was great to see you guys here, obviously.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So, Phillip has been on the show before, so we talked about Arka, which we will talk about, but I want to give Nicholas the floor first. Tell us a little bit about Packiyo a little further and kind of what problems are you solving?
Sure. I guess I could do it in reverse. So, accidentally stumbled into building some warehouse management software in 2012, starting with
how does that accident happen?
What's that?
How does that accident happen?
Oh, it was trying to solve the problem of traceability inside a warehouse. So it was looking at processes that involved paper. And being someone who's very old but has built a lot of products, it was kind of mind-blowing to me that you would have a paper process in a warehouse because there was just no traceability. And I wasn't really thinking about it. To be fair, we weren't really thinking about it. There were a few of us involved. We weren't really thinking about it from we're going to build an amazing product. We were just like, we're trying to solve a problem. And of course, anything in logistics is always interconnected. So we quickly found in order for us to do paper, solve the paper picking and go digital, you need to be connected to sales channels. You need to be connected to carriers, do all the stuff in the warehouse. So that's where it started. And it's been a learning since, and I've been in this space for a while now. And the problem that I'm solving now is how to give a warehouse, whether you're a 3PL or a brand that's doing your own fulfillment, how to have that full set of capabilities to run your warehouse, inventory in, where the inventory goes, how it's picked, how it's packed, how you shipped, where your warehouse team don't need to think or make decisions on the fly. It sort of has all the automation and very easy to use software, where it doesn't cost you a fortune and it's not a convoluted mess of complicated software. So we're really focused on how do you make it super usable, super easy to do the complex stuff, because we abstract the complexity away. That's kind of like what we're obsessed with. That's what we solve. Interesting.
Okay. And I love that it's an obsession. That makes it very good, I'm sure. So, I mean, the simplification is so important too, because, we look at a lot of what's happening, especially with some of the labor issues and turnover and things like that. You want to get somebody in and you want to get them up and running very quickly. So how important is the user interface on the Packiyo side?
The user interface is everything. It's kind of an opportunity for us because we're very aware of the other products that are out there by the big players. And it is mind-blowing. It's like, really, this interface still exists in this day and age? Well, there's our opportunity. But to what you're saying. So how long it takes for someone to get up to speed, right? So for us, really the focus is how do you eliminate errors? And you eliminate errors by humans having to make decisions or trying to figure things out themselves. So make it very, very easy, right? If you're picking, go to this location, scan this thing, put it into total, right? If you're packing, it's telling you what to pack, and you're scanning and confirming it and getting it out. You shouldn't have to be dealing with, what shipping carrier method am I using? What box am I using? All of that stuff is automated in the system. It's figured out. And then you're just following instruction. And it's funny, because I remember the first time I was having a conversation with someone, it was a lead. So they came in, right? They were like, what's your software about? And he was like, what, if you could tell me the one thing that you obsess on, what is it? And it's like, I think our software, what we obsess on is removing on-the-fly decision-making. And eliminating the need for people to think. And I didn't know how he was going to take it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, that's what we're trying to do. And it's
Yeah,
like,
stop
so
them from
I
thinking.
use that line a lot.
So that leads to so many problems.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, very interesting. So we have the WMS side here, right? And then when we have a WMS, sometimes we need WMS plugins, right?
You sure as hell do there, Kevin.
Segue, right?
yeah,
So
great.
tell us a little
Well
bit
done.
about Arka.
Sure. We provide sustainable packaging for direct-to-consumer businesses, and similar to the same ideal customer profile that Nicholas at Packiyo has, self-fulfilling retailers and 3PLs. We will connect to your WMS using our API. We will auto-replenish your packaging. We will make sure that you never run out of packaging and you don't have to run the fire drill of notifying your merchant that they're out. Merchant needs to tell their packaging supplier. We abstract that entire process away. Make sure that through something called BAO, box assortment optimization and cartonization, to simplify those terms, we're essentially just making sure that whatever is picked, packed, and shipped goes in the appropriate sized package so that you're shipping less void fill due to the fact that there's negative rippling effects throughout the rest of your supply chain. If you ship a product in a package that's too big, you're going to pay more for the package. You're going to pay more for shipping. You're going to have less room in the back of the truck. Your carbon footprint goes up. Your customer experience goes down because nobody likes to open up a package and see something like infinitesimally smaller.
Yeah,
than the package
people
came
post that online.
Yeah.
There's like a
That's-
Reddit.
That's not the type of advertisement you want.
No.
You want something like a nice unboxing experience. You want to consider it as a brand, a part of your marketing spend. More than anything else. But no, very excited about Nicholas. He's actually a dear friend and advisor and partner. So we're working with Packiyo so that if you're a brand,
triple threat.
it's absolutely, absolutely, and it's not 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. It has the synergistic effect of
It adds up to 10,
multiplying.
right?
10 at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
11.
It is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of fascinating because, again, being in the space and knowing how long some of these technology providers and companies have existed, there is almost an amazement when you start to try and understand and then solve these problems of how it's not solved already.
Yeah.
And this has been something on the cartonization side with Arka. I'm just thinking about cartonization optimization, how to measure it, what data you can pull from a WMS. And again, it just ties into that obsession and maybe a little bit of like, well, if no one else is going to do it, we're going to do it, kind of thing. But it is absolutely fascinating what Arka is doing. I knew nothing about packaging apart from you put stuff in boxes until meeting Phillip. So I've been learning a lot from this.
I've been learning a lot too. I've been learning a lot.
What not to say, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Fact.
Yes, what an amazing relationship we have here. So, I mean, on that side, talking about different APIs and plugins and things like that. I mean, when you're developing Packiyo and you developed it already, but it consistently continuing
it's always a work
improve
in
it.
progress.
Yeah. I mean, how important is it to be able to, and I guess from the 3PL perspective too, I mean, how important is it to be able to have a WMS where you can have connections to all these different potential plugins or something like Arka?
It's kind of key. Unless you're just sticking with the same clients and they don't evolve, then I guess you can be fine sticking with whatever you've got, but that's not the world we live in, right? So there's a lot. I mean, this is kind of an amazing part of my experience here. So coming here yesterday and today, when I first got into the sort of logistics space from a product building perspective 10 years ago, God, it's been that long. It's a very, very different world. Like when you came to these trade shows. And so much has evolved. Shopify was really that start of that whole self-service and going away from these big platform plays. But looking at how we're building the product, it's a living, breathing platform. One of the things that we have to be disciplined at is making sure that we're not locking ourselves into something that becomes very painful to rip out or change in the future, because it's constantly evolving. There's new players that enter the market. There's new technologies and new offerings that, as a 3PL, we need to be able to provide the 3PL the confidence that, when we have a client opportunity or we have an existing client and they want to be able to do this as part of the customer experience, or they want to optimize this over on the operations side, we have a great platform that allows them to do that as part of the business, as opposed to, sorry, we can't do it, you got to find it.
Yeah.
So it's key. It really is. It's a crucial. We've just started opening up our API.
Oh, nice.
And we're mainly focused on just adding a lot of integrations, but we do have 3PLs that have some of their own internal platforms that they want to connect. So I talk a lot, but yes.
No, it's good. I mean, it's insightful conversation.
Yeah,
so it's good.
always cool.
So I mean, I think it's really interesting, to be able to, and recognizing that your system needs to be a living and breathing thing. As you said, it needs to continuously evolve. With the way our business continues to evolve and technology continues to evolve as well. So in that regard, I mean, as you guys, had these amazing booths over there giving out free candy this week. So what are some of the, this is for both of you, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you're hearing from people who are attending, and what kind of solutions are they looking for? What are they really struggling with?
Totally. I think at least from like a packaging perspective and like a pick, pack, and ship perspective for a 3PL, we're essentially replacing a process that's older than the fax machine. With respect to the fact that you still have someone walking the warehouse floor, marking things down with a clipboard, picking up the phone and ordering packaging from a catalog. There's an opportunity cost that comes from that. You want the people that work in the warehouse to be able to be efficient, be productive, and if that's something that you can take away so they can be productive doing something else and automate that process, that's been most interesting to folks that are coming to us. That, and they're all guilty of shipping product with void fill. Like pretty much everyone. They're like, yeah, that sucks when that happens. They don't look at guilty. You're all guilty. Well, because I mean, if you think about it, how are most warehouses like auditing what they have at their facility? They tend to do it from like a packaging perspective. They tend to do it quarterly at best, where maybe they had new customers come in, they had old customers churn, but they're still picking the same recipe of packaging supplies for their warehouse. And going back to what Nicholas was talking about with respect to like having to think when they're doing like the pick, pack, and shipping process, if they're out of one package, they're going to put a product in something bigger, not smaller than whatever package they ran out of, or they need to get rid of this excess inventory, or worse yet, it's just collecting dust on the warehouse floor and you're paying for that, and real estate costs, warehousing costs, that's going up. So you should probably strategize in a way that you're not spending extra money on that and getting things off the floor. And if you have everything optimized, at least from a packaging perspective, it's one less thing to worry about. And then you can focus on innovating in other ways, like making sure that you keep your customers, that they're happy. And a simple solution like this is pretty critical. It's mission critical for anything being shipped out the door. Like I pretty much mention this anytime I get an opportunity to speak. Every physical product you buy needs packaging. And so make sure you're doing it right. Make sure that you have the right WMS so that there's proper governance on the warehouse level, because those people rely on you. Like these merchants, that is their baby, that is their product, and then eventually there's a consumer that then receives that product. You want everyone to have a good experience. So make sure you have the right tools set up, and come to trade shows like Home Delivery World, where you can see what solutions there are out there to do the continuous improvement that Nicholas is talking about. Because sometimes one thing that might work for you at one period of time may no longer work. That might be a solution. That might be a certain size package that you no longer need to order. Whatever the case might be, it's worth auditing. And that's something that our software audits every night. So we have like a cron trigger that pulls what SKUs you have. And if something is no longer in your database, stop ordering those packages. You could be ordering something else or not. Or if you have someone new join your 3PL. You need to make new decisions around that. So we help with that.
Interesting.
And a bit of a different story on my side. So I would like to say that we're, coming out with really amazing, innovative, new stuff. We're not.
Yes, you are.
Not in the sense of we're inventing.
Sure.
Right. What we're doing is we're taking
improving
processes, things that need to work in a warehouse, inventory management, shipping, all of this stuff, which we all know what these things mean. But when you go to find a solution to do that, the general standard out there is not great.
And there's so many options.
There's many options, and many of them not so good.
Totally.
And I find that for us, the conversations I've been having over the past days, apart from my very awkward booth setup, and
it's a great booth setup.
Is
it's
this
great.
really your signage? The conversations
we're gonna post a
have
picture of these
been-
booths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
The conversations are really around, hey, tell me what is different about you when it comes to how you're going to work with us, how you support us.
Totally.
For me, I'm pretty passionate about partnering with clients because it helps us evolve our product. So when you're getting clients, they're giving you feedback. We've released a feature and they're like, "This is great, but you didn't do this. Can you add this?" Right? So that for us just makes us better overall. And there's a huge opportunity to not go out and invent flashy new stuff. It's really, how about the things that people are trying to do?
Yeah.
Just build it so it works. It doesn't break.
Yeah.
And if someone needs help or they want some advice on how to improve processes or they want to give some feedback, there's a bunch of humans there that will talk to them.
Yeah.
So it really is. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's complex. Building software is challenging, but that's really what it boils down to. What I've learned is a lot of the problems that I thought a couple of years ago, when I sort of stepped out of logistics for a couple of years, would have been solved, are still there, if not worse. So, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, very great to have you guys come on here
Thank you.
and give us the grand finale of the show. It's great. Good partnership here. So thank you very much for coming on. Nicholas, if people want to learn more about Packiyo, what's the best way to do that?
Just go to packiyo.com, PACKIYO.com, or just find my ugly face on LinkedIn and reach out.
Beautiful face.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely beautiful. Fellow Ginger, as we established yesterday. Yes. So, and what about yourself, sir? How do you find Arka?
Arka.com, ARKA.com.
All right. So thank you both for coming by.
Quick picture before we close this.
I will do a picture on live here.
Yeah, let's do
Can
it.
you
Live picture, live
fit
picture.
it?
We have several cameras.
No. Don't worry.
Oh, it's the authenticity here. All right. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us here on the live broadcast. Thanks to Phillip and Nicholas for rounding it out here. And as always, go to thenewwarehouse.com. Check out all the podcasts there. And I think we're going to get Nicholas on a full audio podcast in the future as well. Phillip's had his turn already, but we're going to get Nicholas. We love the terrible jokes. Trust me. All right. So thank you very much, guys, and tune in wherever you can find the New Warehouse.
Thanks, crew.